As a trainer, we really want to work hard to make our classrooms fun and engaging for our students because we want them to keep coming back. And so being warm and welcoming when new students come in and showing the same level of warmth and to returning students is important to keep people coming back. As a trainer, it's important to learn from other trainers, maybe from past experiences. Did you have a teacher that was very engaging with you? Did they have certain things, activities that they did with you to make learning more engaging and more fun? Pick from and choose from other experiences that you've had. Ask thought-provoking questions to your student, such as, what body language did you see right now, and what does that body language tell you? That way you have a two-way conversation with your students and you're inviting them to engage in the topic that you're asking them. When we're in our classroom and we're teaching students, it's important to give everyday examples of how you might use this skill and how to bring it up and how to generalize it. For example, when we're teaching loose leash walking to a student, it's important that the student learns the foundations, but they also need to learn how to generalize that skill. And so if a dog is walking on a loose leash really well in classroom, that may not be ready to start walking past very difficult distractions. As a trainer or an instructor, using humor can oftentimes lighten up a room and warm your students up and get them engaged with you. Just make sure you pick topics that are not going to be offensive to anybody. I personally like to use personal experiences from my own life that are centered around my own dog's behaviors. When a new student arrives to class, make sure we're welcoming them warmly. And we also want to really make sure that they know how their pass works. It's very common for students to show up at the wrong entrance, sometimes even at the wrong facility. And they may not know that they can show up to any day, any night, any facility. So it's important that we show them how their pass works. As a trainer, we want to have all the answers and we want to be the highlights. But the best way to do that is to borrow from other trainers and use lines or use jokes that you hear from other trainers that you really like. So you could write those down, especially as an apprentice, write things down and take notes that you like. For example, one of my favorite things from Angie was telling students that their leash is not a steering wheel. When time allows, taking time to get to know your students may give you some insight into their training goals. And that might open up an opportunity to talk about other programs that we have, such as our specialties or our workshops, like our Kids and Canines, or our 4 on the Floor, or our Control Yourself workshops. Actively listening to our students is a very important part of what we do as trainers. We really want to have their engagement. We want to have their full attention. So we need to give them our full attention. When they ask us questions, give them your full attention. Repeat back what they ask so they know that you heard them. And ask probing questions back to them. As a trainer, it's very easy to address dogs by their names. But those dogs are not our clients. Our students are our clients. We need to know their names. We need to address them by their names. And so some things that you can do to make students feel more welcome would be to write the student's name down and then their dog's name down. When they enter the classroom, greet them by their name and ask them how they are doing, and then ask them how they and their dogs are doing. For example, I might say, "Hello, Talia, welcome back to class. How are you doing today?" And then I would start to ask about how their training is doing. As a trainer, when you're training students in our upper levels, maybe they're getting up into level 4 and 5, we may have opportunities to change the not necessarily change the curriculum completely, but we might be able to add a little spice. Maybe instead of that loose leash walk past dog toys or walking past that person in the training room, if the opportunity is there, maybe you can take them outside to walk. Or sometimes in level 5, for example, I might set up my training room to look like a cafe, and we would practice all of our skills in that kind of a setting. Ask other trainers what they do to switch up some of the skills that they practice and how they can make them fun for their students.